Hi, thanks for joining me for a look around my collection, and this time it's on the Matchbox Convoy from Lesney Products. What you see is an example of the Convoy box. This is for CY5. They were all given the CY number by Lesney Products. I didn't realise and didn't really look at this range until probably a few years after they were issued. I wasn't really sort of heavily collecting then. I wasn't encouraged to do it, but I realised that these had this lovely word on the back, and that was made and printed in England, Lesney Products, and that got me to sort of collect them. They weren't really heavily looked at by collectors. Most Matchbox collectors wanted the models of yesteryear and also the regular collection, or the regular wheels, I should say. But the Convoys and Superfast were largely overlooked initially. Not anymore, as people like me now have gained interest in them, and certainly people are looking for them. So this is CY5, which is an unusual one to start with, but this is a development from the TP series, the 900, and Lesney Products have now gained the license from Peterbilt in developing the Packard. Now, they normally come off. This one didn't want to do it, but anyway, so we can see they've now gained the exhaust stacks and the additional wheel. They've got this sort of concave style. We've got the Lesney England base, and we'll bring the trailer. That detaches, and the trailer is also manufactured in England. Now CY5, the biggest sort of changes that this model had, apart from UK production, didn't last for long when Matchbox International grabbed hold of it. These were among the first tools to slip over to Macau. That's a variation. That's how they compact, and you'll notice the biggest difference, the glazing. Not a major change, but the glazing is amber on that one and clear on that one. You'll also find elements of the tampo printing can be a little different. So this one is definitely sort of a slightly late. This one is slightly darker shade than this one. This one's slightly lighter, but this comes, as I say, at the end of Lesney Productions, or Lesney Products. Don't know why I'm saying productions, I know it's Lesney Products. But anyway, we'll go backwards slightly, and we'll go to number one. So number one was the car transporter. These started in 1982. You can get a lot of variations with the tampo print style. And just do the back. They all have this same type of box, but it's a case of proving, because when the production moved to Macau, they repeated initially the same sort of livery and products as done by Lesney, and why not? So number two is the NASA spaceship, a very popular one. Quite easy to discover that if they've been in the sun, the plastics can yellow, so you've got to be very, very careful with them. And also the exhaust stacks can be quite brittle if they are exposed to the sun too much. So CY3 is the Peterbilt container truck, and this one in Uniroyal livery. Again, window shades and the tampro can vary a little. On these, the containers have opening doors, and you can also use a forklift truck to lift them off. Great play value. This one still has the original elastic band, and they can perish like hell. A variation on CY3 is the Federal Express livery. The containers on these haven't yellowed. They are sort of that creamy colour. And you can tell they haven't yellowed because they're cream all the way round. I haven't certainly had this one in the sun, but you can see one of the elastic bands has perished. CY4 is the boat transporter. This boat's been used by Lesney quite a few times, but why not? It is a fabulous casting. CY5 we'll just bring back briefly because we've already been there, but just showing CY5. Then CY6 is the horse box with the Peterbilt and does contain some horses. So this one has the is that Bluegrass Farms on there, and there's a look at the reverse. I'm not really showing the underneath because they're all the same. So CY7 is the petrol tanker, or the tanker, and again you look out for variations on the print and the glazing, and again the other variation is country of origin. Say most of these are also made in Macau. I think probably what's left of the UK ones are getting thin on the ground. Certainly by prices on eBay. So CY8 we have the Kenworth style cab. This was issued singularly on its own as number 45 for the rest of the world. Might have been different for the US market, but that's number 45, that one, and this one is CY8, and there we have Lesney products. And then number 9 is the container truck. It is listed as a Kenworth, even though to the rest of us that looks more like a Peterbilt. Oh, sorry, oh dear. Trust me to go and knock the camera. Let's go and pop that back. Bit of drama. And there is the back of that one. And then number 10 probably is one of the most successful, as this launched the Team Convoy series. Not a series that was very heavy in the UK, but there were certainly a lot produced for the US market. We lost out on a lot of this, but there we have one of the first changes, and we see this is 1983 Matchbox International. So we do have a slight change underneath, as we now have a barcode, and wording will be relevant to Matchbox International era. So number 11 is the Kenworth helicopter transporter. So we see the ubiquitous number 75 helicopter, which was Lesney's own design, being used. No doubt some of these were also produced and packed on their own, but generally the silver one comes like this. So all packaging and boxes are now light into Matchbox International. So CY12 is the aircraft transporter with the Kenworth cab. Again, this has more of a creamy rear. I don't think mine is yellowed, but it could just be a variation with the plastic. But who knows, I might just have picked up one that's been yellowed, but it's always been that colour. And the final UK release, or UK made release, was this one, which was CY13. Now I know it did go on to have the old long haul style cab without the double axle, probably to make it more cost effective to manufacture. There we have with that very long ladder. And from there we see that this is a UK release. Staying with the UK release, I don't know of many sets that Convoys came with, but this is one. Forgive me, I didn't really want to unpack it, but we'll first of all see a variation with the supergas tanker. I'm trying to remember which one it is, but of course, there we are. So one of the first things, the tampo printing is white there, it's yellow there. I think the glazing is just slightly darker, but pretty much everything else stays the same. Most of them were sort of standard releases. The Matchbox one, it could be supplemented for another version. We'll have a look at the Uniroyal and compare the, as we can see, the containers are cream, so they're not white. The printing is different. This goes down like that. This one just has the white and the black and the white. So and on the doors we can also see the printing is different as well. So they go more straight across, well, this one doesn't. And of course the container isn't produced as a Matchbox one. It is interesting to see that the logo are slightly different, with this being the more recent black. There's the Eddie Wrecker in there, and also I think that's number 10, the Plymouth Grand Fury. This one could also make out a sort of Convoy garage. We can also see that it is a Lesney Products issue and was made and printed in England. I have checked all the bases and they are correct. Quite often around this sort of time of production, they would often supplement, so it wouldn't be too unusual to see a Macau made model in one of these packages. Now another one I've got, because like Skybusters I like the self-promoting and the Matchbox. Get you steady down there first. I got this one. This is the Matchbox version of the CY8. I love it with the sort of logos matching on, and as you can see, we're now fully under the Universal era, and this is made in Macau. And just to show the wording underneath. Now, in terms of Matchbox promoting, I also have this one. We're in the Tyco era. Not a very happy one for those in the UK. We got this garish look, which I don't think was really particularly popular. But they didn't change the logo, at least. But we're now made in China. But the main thing was availability. This was part of the problem. Matchbox started to get hard to get hold of. Convoys weren't too bad. And here we have another one. More with the Peterbilt one. But this is certainly the fast lane era. And again, box packaging is quite similar. But it's to me, it's a different era. It's just a shame that a lot of collectors in the UK don't look on it so favourably. Then we have going on to the Mattel era. Unfortunately, Mattel's not made things that much better with availability, and there's a lot of product that just bypasses certainly the UK and Europe in the way they sell things. which is a great shame. Don't know why they do it, but they obviously don't see any value in the world markets. But it's great, it's still going. So if you can see the copyright, if it's not too much glare, and that one's made in China. I do have this one as well. So we get the Scania. Not Mattel's finest hour with bringing this style of logo out. Mattel were trying to reinvent Matchbox, as their research showed it was more of a younger clientele, but it didn't work with them. Fair play to them, they tried it and they did bow to pressure and bringing it back, the original Matchbox logo. So a couple more I have going on the Matchbox theme. We have it as Premier Collection, again not a series in the UK that was marketed. I actually had somebody going over to the States and get me this. I was super chuffed when they did. His name was Dennis Chick. He's still with us. His name is Dennis Chick, and Dennis Chick's well known in the motor industry as he was quite high up, I think, in the marketing Austin Rover. And anyways, great chap. He didn't just get me that, he got me that as well. It just sort of links in beautifully. These Premier Collections were not marketed in the UK. There might be a UK address on the back, but we never got them. And then sticking with the theme of Matchbox, we have one of the Super Convoys. Again, a series that never came over to the UK much. This one has the Mini, which is a casting I love, and it is commemorative of the 70th anniversary of Matchbox. Those are the versions. These never came to the UK. I bought this for about £30 on eBay because I wanted that as well as the Lincoln. And just to show that convoys were still, although they've now sort of moved on to work in rigs, we have the Tesla. So this one being effectively one of the newest convoy models, but the Tesla one is also very popular with the Tesco, just automatic, isn't it? Sorry, with the Tesla model. A couple of other ones I've got, which are more sort of local, more UK specific. Matchbox International done a whole load of liveries based more locally. So Wimpy was a fast food chain in the UK, pretty much disappeared now. And we see that one's a 1997 Macau Scania, and that one is CY16. And then another one, this one was produced normally with some sweets. Came in a big Bassett Jelly Babies box. You got a big packet of Jelly Babies, and there is also another one for Licorice All Sorts, but I don't currently have that one. So this one's described as CY24. To be honest, this model was also generally packed and generally available. It was. So that one's made in Thailand, and almost the final one I've got. Part of these sort of UK type ones that were issued at the time by Matchbox International was the Royal Mail parcels, also CY25 on the DAF cab, and this one is made in Macau. The only final thing that came that I have relating to convoys is this. recently bought on eBay for I think about £8. Again, something that never really came to the UK. I didn't even realise that they'd produced these sort of buses. And if you look, you can see it's an 8-dot. So those infamous 8-dot wheels have appeared on this as well. So that's my little look at the convoys. We will leave it with a convoy, and we'll leave it with a Premier convoy, as I think this is testimony to how great they are. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.